Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Black Country Homebrew video. Today we are going to be making a Nectaron SMaSH. So we've got Maris Otter and Nectaron Hops. We're only going to do a 5 litre batch thereabout. I decided I wanted to do a small batch before I scale it up to a full batch, and I don't really have the space at the moment for a full batch. So that's what I decided to do. Chose the Nectaron Hops because I absolutely fell in love with them after the last beer I did with Nectaron, which the review for that is on the YouTube channel. So we are currently got the hops there, got the malt there, and we are warming up the mash water up ready. We're going for 67 on the mash degrees, so just wait for that to warm up and then we will start the brew. About 20 minutes on now from when I first recorded the first part, and we have just reached the strike temperature of, I think, about 70 degrees it was at. Let me just double check. Yes, we're at 7 degrees thereabout. So this is 1 kilo of Maris Otter malt. As I say, I'm only doing 5 litres, so I'll put it into Brew and it came out with what I wanted. So let me just pop you down there. Hopefully that's a decent view for you. So we're just going to tip this now into the bag. Create a load of dust, and I'm now just going to give that a stir. Got my spoon here, just stir that in, making sure there's no dough balls, which is quite a significant one there. Just going to give this a stir now for a few minutes, and then I'll come back to you. We're now 15 minutes into the mash. Let me just give it a bit of a stir. So it's not as thick as I wanted it, but we'll see how it turns out at the end. As you can see, there's no dough balls in there. I did get this from my local homebrew shop, so I don't know how well crushed it is. It seems fairly alright. It was already pre-bagged, so with being brewing the bag, I was actually going to ask it to crush it a bit finer, but as I say, it was already bagged. So temperature wise, there's 65, 67, bang on. So that's perfect. So I'm going to put the lid back on, I'll leave it for another 45 minutes, just keep monitoring the temperature. I might record that or not. So when we come back, we've got the hops here. So Nectaron Hops, picked these up from Cross My Loof on eBay. I think it was £4 something, delivered for 50 grams. We got 2.5, 2.5, 5 gram, 5 grams. So half hour, 15, 10 and 5. I think they're going in the boil. We'll confirm that. We got Protoflock tablet as well to chuck in after for the hops. I'm not going to be using my hop spider. We're going to be putting them in this bag just because it's a small batch. So I'll see you in 45 minutes. So just while the mash is underway, I thought I'd give you a rundown of what the brew actually is. So as mentioned, it's Maris Otter malt and Nectaron Hops, I kind of just chucked it all into Brew, I think it's called. Have a look. Yeah, Brew, which is the first time I've used it and just put in what I wanted to do. It's pretty cool, that, if you haven't seen it. So I put in that it was going to be a 5 litre batch. It told me that it needs to be 6.5 litres of mash water, which I put in initially, 3.34 litres of sparge water, which will give us a boil of 9.84 litres, and then at the end it will give us, let me find it whereabout it is on here. Sorry, post boil kettle volume 6.25 litres. Sorry, it's the first time I've looked at this app, so I'm trying to figure it out. Should be getting about 4.5%, post boil gravity of 1.43, and a final gravity of 1.009. But yeah, it's really cool. Really cool app. Gives you all these details. So boil off per hour should be 3 litres. Batch volume 5 litres. So we'll lose 1 to trub and chiller loss, and should give us a bottling volume of about 3 litres. As I said, I'm not going for a big batch here. I just want to give it a try. It's kind of my first time I've ever done my own brew, so you can just figure it out through that. So it also counts down your timer. So on the mash we've currently got 33 minutes left, and I'm guessing it pings up and alarms you as well when that's done. So once the mash is complete, I shall come back to you. Right, so we're back. The mash is now complete. It has been 1 hour. So this I brought from Argos just before. It's just an 11 litre like super kettle, and it held the temperature really well. I only had to actually add heat once. I don't know if it was because of the small amount of grain I've actually got as well. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but so just going to remove this from here, put that on there, then I'm going to get my colander and add that like so. So if we go on to the Brew app, it says we need 3.34 litres of sparge water. Now, if you watch my last video, my first ever brew in a bag, I actually haven't got a sparge water heater. So what I've decided to do this time is, excuse the state of my kitchen, I've just like partially boiled the kettle. I'm going to see what temperature this is at, and then maybe make some slight adjustments with temperature. Where have I put my thermometer? This is, I honestly don't know how I get through life sometimes with losing stuff. But hey, right, I'm going to quickly hunt for my thermometer. Bear with me 2 seconds. You can probably see it on the camera, but it's just, I can't see it. Thermometer required. I took it into my PC for some reason. So, as I was saying, I've just partially boiled the kettle. I'm going to see. Okay, yeah, that's very hot. So, if I add some cold water, that's 1 litre. What temperature will that now be at? Yeah, so that's at 70 degrees, so what is it, 77 it's meant to be, so I suppose that's better than nothing. So it's 3.34 litres of sparge water we need, so I'm just going to distribute it over the grain. Washing it off as best as I can. Another litre. Oh, we got a bit of leakage. I'm just going to fill this up. It won't be the right temperature, but it's better than it being completely cold. Smells really nice. I think we'll just go for 340ml cold, give or take. There we go. So at least we've got some warm sparge water going through. Right, I'm going to give that 2 minutes to warm up. I'm going to turn the heat on, start getting it ready for the boil, and I'm going to clear up this mess that I've made here. So I'll see you in a minute. Right, so I've had a tidy up. This is at about 65 degrees, so I've just turned the gas on now just to get it as hot as possible. Hot as quick as possible. So I just thought I'd talk about the hop schedule. I did briefly mention it earlier. So we have got 5 grams of Nectaron going in at half hour, 5 grams of Nectaron going in at 15, 2.5 gram at 10 minutes, and then another 2.5 gram going in at 5 minutes. Protofloc will go in at 15 minutes also. So I'm just going to bring this to the boil now. I'll come back with the video once it's at the boil, otherwise it's going to be a very long way for you, so bear with me. So we're 5 minutes into the boil. As you can see, it's just rolling slowly. So the first hop additions, as mentioned, are going in half hour into the boil. So as soon as that's in, I'll chuck them in, but for now, let's just stand here on guard and make sure we don't have any boilovers. So we've got 42 minutes left of the boil now. I've had to move it onto this back gas ring to try and give it a bit more of a vigorous boil, as it was rolling but not fantastic on this gas ring, so it's going good on this one now. So we've got 12 minutes now until the first load of Nectaron Hops go in, so not long. Seems like to be taking forever, sat here just watching it, but yeah, well. Smells incredible, don't have anything else to say at the moment. So here we are, 30 minutes into the boil. So I've got 5 grams of Nectaron Hops going into my hop spider. Did decide to put the hop spider in the end because it just does keep a lot of the muck out of the brew. So as you can see, hopefully if you've not steamed up, oh wow, that smell straight away just hits you. Smells incredible. So we now got 15 minutes and then the next load of hops go in. So stand here for another 15 minutes, make sure we get no boilovers, and I shall start the video from then. So we're now at the 45 minute into the boil, so 15 minutes left. So another 5 gram of Nectaron are going in, just like that. So then boiling away, and I'm also going to chuck in about a quarter of a Protofloc tablet just to try and clear the water later on, which is in there now. So boiling away nicely. We've got another 5 minutes to go until we add 2.5 gram of Nectaron in. So I'll see you then. So 2.5 gram Nectaron now going in. Second you throw them in, man, the smell you get's insane. And then we got another 5 minutes now, and the final 2.5 gram of Nectaron will go in. You'll have to excuse the noise of the washing machine in the background, but 5 minutes left of the boil, last 2.5 gram of hops going in. So with 5 minutes left of the boil now, the way I'm going to cool it down, I'm not going to bother with my immersion chiller or anything, so it's going to be as simple as going to fill this with cold water and place it in and keep replacing the cold water until it's cooled down once the boil's done. So once the boil's done, I'll come back and show you putting it in the sink ready to cool down. So here we are, just coming to the end of the boil, 7 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Brilliant, that's the end of the boil. So we're going to turn the gas off. Straight on with the oven gloves. I mean, I haven't tested to see if this fits, but hopefully it does. And she's going straight into the cold water. Obviously once it gets cool now, anything that does come into contact with the water needs to be sanitised, which all my equipment is. So I'm just going to fill that up so it gets the most. Probably going to pop the lid on now as well, take the hop spider out. So I'll come back to you once it's cooled and then we can transfer it. I'm going for a demijohn because it's just 5 litres. So I shall pop it into there, so catch you in a bit. Welcome back. So we have just cooked dinner and eaten that, and while we were eating, this has been sat ready to cool. I've just checked the temperature, and we're at about 25 degrees, which is perfect. So got my sterilised demijohn here and the siphon into the wort. Is an auto siphon, so we'll just get that started now and fill this up. It's a really nice colour already. I'm trying to get a fair amount of oxygen into this now. Obviously don't want the siphon to stop. You'll see on the end of the siphon, I don't know if you can see, I've actually put just like a sediment stopper thing to try and reduce the amount of sediment that's been picked up from the wort going into the fermenter. That's slowly coming out. As you can see, there's the bag that I've placed on top. Doesn't seem to be siphoning very fast. So right, what I'll do is I'll come back to you once this has fully siphoned through. See you in a sec. So we've siphoned off now into the demijohn. It's not very clear at all, there is a lot of sediment in there from what I can see. So we've gone for US 05 yeast, which I'm just going to pitch in now. I was going to do half the packet, but I'm just tempted to just stick it all in. In goes the yeast. I had a bit of a spillage. And sanitizer. Airlock goes in like so. So that is the brew. Got a sample here. As you can see, it's fairly hazy. Let's try and get this in. So we are at 1.040. Pretty pleased with that. What did it say on Brewer's Friend we were expecting? .043, so we're a little bit below that, but hey, still turn out to be a nice beer, hopefully. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. We will catch you on a tasting review, which I'll do as soon as this is ready and bottled. It is going to be bottled, so it'll be a bottling review. As you can see, the sediment and all the protein in there and trub is just separating now. So yeah, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed then and you like the videos, feel free to subscribe, drop a comment if needs be. I'll try and get back to everyone whilst working full time. So, but thanks once again. Cheers.